And it's a beautiful day for gaming. Today, I am playing Ashen Shadows with the latest update as of what is it, the ninth or whatever, the 10th or what. I'm playing with the latest update. Today, I'm going to play with the King's Rifle Brigade, and then I'm also taking as allies FRF Tier and ISAF 4. ISAF 4 has been the deck I've been using lately to fight against Red 4 style units. So let's take a look at some of these. Let's look at FRF tier first. Let's see where it is. Alright, so FRF tier is a fast reaction force. It's the second version of the Danish deck series. And as you can see here, it's got 6 CVs and various supply units. It's got a modicum of good tanks. It's got some really good aircraft. Everything else is kind of average. There are 11 SSR recon units in this deck, which is awesome. And then up here they got FKPHI. I don't know what the HI stands for, but I'm sure Spectre will tell me at some point. Um, maybe heavy infantry, I don't know. I'm not going to even guess. They got some pretty good units here. And overall this deck should do really well in general against most other decks. Except where the holes are, which, doesn't really have an AA helicopter. There's a lot of aircraft, but it doesn't really have a lot of strong varieties. So as long as you can keep keep at least one or two of these F-16 Block 15, F-16A Block 15 versions in, it should be all right. And then these JSOWs and these MLUs actually double up as multi-role, like they can actually take out aircraft. It's got a double stack of these artillery units here, which are pretty damn good. Automatic EOTS Hawk, and it's got 8 mortars. So it's a fairly good force for the Danish. And then ISAF 4, the deck I normally use when I play against the Red 4. I've been slowly changing it over time, and right now I think it's probably about as good as it's going to get without adding more points, but it is a general non-specified deck, so it only gets 50 points, but for those 50 points you get a pretty effective fighting force. One of my favorite units in this game is the FV-107 Scout Scimitar. 55 accuracy percentage, no stabilizer, so you have to stop in order to shoot. But once it stops and it starts shooting, it's got an AP power of 5, which is just kick ass on most other vehicles. It will literally dominate a battlefield, as long as there are no heavy tanks. It'll even take out light tanks, it'll take out cavalry tanks, it'll take out medium tanks. I've seen it happen. My old standby, the M3A2 Bradley, it would be nice to see cavalry scouts come in these, but instead of being a strength of 5, it'll be a strength of 2, like it is in real life, because you get the 3 crew members of this vehicle plus those 2 guys, and they're usually packing a javelin these days, and they'll do their scouting duties and they'll take shit out, and it's just how they work. Green Jacket's another standby that's favorite. I love to use these guys in CQC actions, even though nothing here is designated as CQC, but they work pretty good overall as far as taking things out. They should have, instead of the Scar H, they should have the M129 or L129 Alpha. But that that's a weapon that's been given over to these guys, the rifles. And as you can see, it's pretty much a similar weapon. Like, in reality, they don't look alike, but they do the same thing. They're 7.62 308 caliber weapons that can reach out to 800 yards or better, based on the original M14 round and gun that came out in the late 40s, early 50s. a fairly effective round. I don't know why most NATO forces have actually gone with the 5.56. It's a great round for short close-up actions. Like you want to send guys with 5.56s into an urban environment to fight because nothing's going to take place at more than a few hundred yards. But when you're in an open field, you want a 7.62. You want a 308 caliber rifle, so you can reach out and touch somebody. Anyway, I'm jaw-jacking. One of the things I have in this deck is I got the M270 LRM and the M109A2 Royal Canadian Artillery, Horse Artillery. I love the Thor. The Thor, it will take out weapons. One of the things I did when I modded this, the AI for this game, is I took the crit damage from 1.5 to 2, so you can actually one-shot a plane with this weapon, because if it does critical damage, then it'll do 10 points, and that's what you need to take out most things in this game. It would be nice to possibly see a brimstone vehicle, or what am I, Starstreak? Another Starstreak vehicle in this. I like the Starstreak Mark II, but I have the feeling there should be another version of this weapon somewhere, and I'm not sure where. But the KSAM here, one of the things I want to say is it's got 4 infrared missiles. It should have 8. Or maybe even, yeah, it definitely should have 8. It shouldn't just have 4. But, you know, hey, that'll get changed, I imagine, at some point. And it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Alright, so, having looked at these decks, oh, hey, love the hell out of this plane. The Tornado Hope fires 2 Maclos rounds. And they have an HE power of 18. Dispersion of 0. So they're dead on. And if you launch this while a unit's in sight, you can pretty much count on it being eradicated. And the range on it is 13,000 or 13, almost 14 kilometers. Right, which means you can bring this plane in. You don't have to worry about it probably getting like taken out by another aircraft as long as it launches its missiles and then it evacs. So you have to make sure you do both of those. After it does launch its missiles, you can use it as an ASF, but generally speaking against ASFs like the Block 52 here, or perhaps some of these other tornadoes, or even this, the MiG-29G, against this Mirage, or against some of these better jets, if I can find one. Like these guys here, or the F-15J, you probably don't want to use the Hope against those things. These guys, they carry 2 missiles and they pack 4 anti-radar missiles, and they're pretty damn good. And they've got an ECM of 60%, exceptional air detection. So they're going to spot things in the air and they're going to spot things on the ground. Bringing these guys out in tandem with these guys, or even these guys, will make sure you're doing pretty good. But you know, this deck is not strong with units for the air, and you need to be careful. Otherwise, you're going to end up handing air superiority to your opponent, and it's not going to work out too well for you. Alright, so the other deck that I'm using is the King's Rifle Brigade. And originally I had it set up with the Anglian Regiment, because they have the L129A1. But I switched it up with the rifles, and I've got 57 units of the rifles, and these guys are absolutely badass. I got some Javelin ATGMs and Milan 2s and a couple of cards of Starstreaks, because they're badass. And yeah, that's all you really need. Don't need to bring any Fusiliers, although you can. Don't need to bring these guys, although you can. But I've got rifles. And, you know, they're pretty much it. This is pretty much at a battalion strength here. So with the rest of the brigade, we got scimitars, we got 2 cards of green jackets, which work well in tandem with rifles because they have a similar offensive capability. I've got Gazelle helicopter here. And, you know, I think probably I'm going to switch it out for this Apache because I want, especially in decks where I definitely have an offensive streak or an offensive capability strong with this particular deck, I definitely want them to be able to get out there and kick some ass. So I've got a ferret with the javelin. I've thought about bringing out the fox, but it can't take near as much damage as this scorpion. It's a much better vehicle, even though, yeah, neither one of these has the ability to fire on the move. Although, gosh, it would be nice if the Brits would get on board with that. And who knows, maybe they actually are. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the weaponry, but I do have these here. The FV430, and it's also got the CTE 40 millimeter rounds at 5 points of damage, or 5 AP. I mean, it's just incredible how much damage these guys can do. And then over here I've got 4, I'm going to back that up to 6 Brimstone rocket launchers. They've got a total of 6 missiles at 80% and AP of 26. Super badass, and it uses a Challenger chassis, so it's got an AP of 20. I have seen them die fairly quickly, but they do not always die as easily as it might seem. I've got 4 Eurofighter Typhoons in here. Typhoons, sorry. I've got a Tornado Seaplane at 2, and then I've got a Tornado GR4, which fires up to 12 missiles at various vehicles, and then I've got the GR7. Now, like I said, originally this deck had the Anglian Regiment in it, which was something else in the previous game, and that's why I had it in there. I do have a video where I've used this deck previously with the original setup, but this is a much better setup. Love it. I'm going to enjoy playing this. And then, for the Chinese regiment, or unit, I believe, oh boy, I believe it was this one. Oh no, I'm not sure. But anyway, this deck should be pretty effective. I believe I used it earlier yesterday in yesterday's games. No, here it is. Here's the Chinese unit I'm using, or going to fight against right now. It's not the best, but it's pretty badass. It's got 16 of these, and it's going to get 3 times that availability of the ZTZ-99 Alpha, with an AP of 23 and an armor of 21. So it's not going to be an easy unit to fight against based on its tanks. It's got some good recon going on here. 2 sets of helicopters, so we should see a lot of those. We should also see the Cake and the Zaddy. And we should see a lot of these aircraft in play. It's got Zanchi 85, 2 cards. The Type 84 is basically the BMP-3. And then this is a 25 millimeter carrier. That's fairly effective. We got Jiaolong coming in, the Z9 Alpha, And they've got pretty good anti-air units as well, so hopefully we'll see a lot of this in play. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Enough jerking off, rather. I'm going to get into the game, and we're going to see how it does. Playing to 500 points, Conquest. Both teams start off with 3,000 points, so I'm going to get 1,000 points in my setup. And let me see. Alright, this is the small map. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set these guys up with that. And I'm going to put a ferret here to go up and scout so I can spot things for the stormer to hit. Just in case stuff comes back this far. And then over here I'm going to set up 30 of these green jackets because I have plenty of them. I'm going to set those guys up to go over here and make damage happen. F-Warrior 90, and then I've got a CTA 40. We've got bulldogs, and we're going to take some javelins. Now, I need one of those, and to start off, I'm going to take one of those. And for a vehicle, I can't take a vehicle yet. Alright, so that's a good start. So these guys are going to blaze on over here. Situated. I'm going to put these guys over here, unload, and then bring the helicopters back and land there. Because Pumas, while being good platforms for carrying troops, they are not as effective at fighting. And for that bulldog down here with the CV in it, I'm going to make it run off to this sector, Bravo, and we're going to
the only good recce is a dead one.
Cause the enemy some problems.
Grab the binoculars, Corporal.
That ferret there, and I'm going to put the stormer there so
moving on that position.
Kill whatever the ferret spots flying along. Hopefully helicopters, and hopefully it'll stop anything in this general area from messing with my game, as it were. So, I'm off to a good start here, and I'm gonna totally do like some Vietnam era, like troop landing. It's gonna be cool. Nice helicopters. Going to ground, dropping their guys.
Recce ready, sir.
I'm gonna move some Recce over there, move some Recce over there, and I'm gonna put these guys into the building. Uh-oh. My Pumas got taken out by a pair of HQ-7s. So I take the first casualty in the battle. But the other two Pumas get away, and that's good. At some point I want to try this game with destruction as opposed to conquest. We'll see. I'm no longer really a big fan of destruction.
Sir, yes, sir.
I think it's overplayed, and when people overplay something, it tends to wear the thing out. I'm hearing aircraft. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Bunch of Fabows come through. Let me see if I can get some of these SU-27s. See if I can doff some of these bad boys. SU-27s took me out. I'm not sure if I got one of their aircraft or not. But damn, yo. Okay. It's a real fight. These Eurofighter Typhoons are not Raptor Jesuses, that's for sure. And that's okay.
Break time's over, people. We're on the move again. Step on it. In a hurry.
Looks like the enemy is coming through these tanks. They mean business. It apparently means business here. This warrior took out a vehicle carrying the Zanchi. Green jackets up here. Let's see if I can get him into the enemy's backyard. And for that matter,
I say the only good wreck is a dead one.
like this. And yeah, cruise on over here.
Ahead. Over.
I'm gonna bugger these guys to sit there and destroy you know, they're gonna camp that little spawn site. Yes, I'm cheating.
The captain and his crew welcome you aboard.
Alright.
Flying
Let's
in,
get a
weapons
bomber.
hot.
See if we can take him out. And then definitely want to bring in another Eurofighter Typhoon. And my next thing is to bring in a GR4 because we need to be able to destroy tanks. Hopefully this guy and it doesn't even bother to drop its bombs. Get it all. And look at there. My guys are spotting some shit. Green jackets, they're really good at getting in behind enemy lines. It is a to-do for sure. In fact, I'm going to try, even though I should be waiting to get that plane, I'm going to bring it over here. See if I can get that behind the enemy lines as well. That way I can move on to hotel and see if I can knock some shit out. Yeah, one of the things I gotta say about playing other people is if you're going to set up ground rules
Moving on
for
that
playing
position.
a game, you need to honor those rules as much as you would expect other people to be honoring those rules as well. Because if you don't honor the rules that you set up, you're gonna look like an idiot. And that's never good.
Ahead. Over.
Never. Move these green jackets over here. Set them up away from the position that they had before because they'll get spotted. And we don't want them to get
Spotted
spotted.
something?
Now let's see. Alright, that plane is ready to go. Let's see if we can get it down over here. Unload and land. Yes, sir. On medium, and the changes that Spectre made to my AI, hard gets 80% in addition to the normal points, so I think this game is set at 14, so it gets 80% of 14 on top as extra incentive to have bring in weapons. My green jackets here are getting
You'd be blind
way
without us.
There's only one left.
I say the only good wreck is a dead one.
So we get those guys like moved over.
We're reconnoitering this area.
Uh-oh. They have spotted my helo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to effectively land and then fish out. Hopefully that helicopter can get away.
Trouble.
Fine. Oh, it's gone all the way. All right, cool. All right, then we'll just have it land and unload. These rifles are battling these enemies here. Oh yeah, it's time to bring in. Use these planes with effectiveness.
On my way to coordinates. Out.
I'm gonna do as much and see if I can kill shit. Yes, sir, Bob. Uh-oh. Taken out. God, those SC-27Ks are just doing the work, man. 65%, 60%. Yeah, they're badass set of aircraft. Wow. Alright then. Crying shame.
Recce ready, sir.
Get into cover.
Hi,
And you
Hank.
guys start making your way to this town over here. I'm gonna have you guys go there, and then I'm gonna make you go there. From there, we're gonna work our way towards the middle. See if we can end this game on a good note pretty early.
What's the problem?
Shit's get destroyed, dude. It's because they keep bringing in these ZTZs. That's alright.
I say the only good Recce is a dead one.
These guys back off.
We're reconnoitering this area.
Continue to spot. Turn off their weapons except for rifle. Yeah, I guess I'll probably. No. I'm just gonna get relegated to a recon position. Or a recon role, rather.
Attend full direct.
Excuse me. One must burp after eating
Fresh supplies on
tripe. Tripe. In the form of menudo, which is Mexican recipe. And it being Sunday, it's beer Sunday, so I'm drinking beer as well while playing games, and hopefully I can get Noise or Spectre to get in here and play a game with me, or maybe Jihadist Jack, and we can get some team play going. Yeah, I could use another one of those GR4s, and then I'd like to have one of these MLRSs. Yes, sir. Alright, so right now, points are counterbalanced. The Chinese deck is doing a really good job at keeping us offset, so we're not scoring a bunch of points on them, but now they're +1, which means I need to get on my job. And first and foremost, I need to resupply these guys right here. And then probably bring out some of these guys.
Attend full direct.
And they're getting hurt up pretty bad. So what I'm gonna do is
Stalin Torgen.
target this. Actually, I'm gonna try to forecast. And target
Bravo.
this guy.
Fire windmill.
Lobby.
Full salvo. Fire windmill.
Forecast. Get some artillery coming in on these guys. Ooh, nice hit. On that ZTZ. looks like what it used was Excalibur round, and then it dropped artillery on that same area.
Spotted something?
Get these guys in a position to spot. Because if I can find stationary targets, then I can drop artillery on them. And did I use the entire? Yes, I did. Bummer. Okay, so let's move it over here.
En route to destination.
And we'll back it up with some trucks, which I can resupply with helicopters.
I knew you'd soon have us hard at work again.
Split these guys and get these rifles resupplied. So over here is my commando mission. I'm going to move these guys deep in country. Not that they're not deep in country now, but then they're going to attack over there and probably kill a CV and a hotel. That'll garner me instantaneous air superiority because they won't be able to bring in planes. And that is the whole point of that adventure. Right now they're pulling the lead. I need to see if... Okay, looks like my guy is doing the... He's pulling that duty. Alright, so... Over here... I'm going to bring in a Challenger tank. And I'm going to bring in a light tank to support it. In essence, I'm turning it into a meat shield. The light tank. Javelin doing its work. Yes, sir.
What is it you want now?
Vehicles. They are good vehicles. I'll bring this one back here where I can get it refueled. The helicopter. I like tiering my supply so that one tier can use the other tier as a backdrop. Especially with heavier helicopters. Too bad the British don't have a heavier helicopter it can use as a tiered supply vehicle. For instance, in the United States Army, I tend to bring 15 of the 500-point tanks, or 500-point trucks, supply trucks, and then I bring, usually to complement them, I'll bring a hint, and I'll bring CH-147, something like that. Which basically it's a shooting style aircraft that carries 2,500 supply, and when I need to resupply my 500 point trucks, I'll use one of those and it can resupply 5 of them. So not a bad deal, basically. Yeah, I'm just gonna get some target practice. I haven't had much luck with the GR4 Tornado, and I don't know why that is, because I've seen other people like use the GR4 Tornado with great efficiency, and I don't know if I should just let it do its own thing. Get out of there. Yes. Now I totally planned it out to evac, and it didn't do it. So yes, it got shot down by 6 Su-27s. And the fact that it does have all 6 Su-27s probably indicates that on hard the points are too high. Like, it's getting far too many points. It really shouldn't be. 6 stacking a bunch of air superiority aircraft to knock out one aircraft. It's a little silly, if you ask me.
What is it you want now?
Alright, over here, these guys are resupplied.
Not my war.
Javelin dudes. And I'm going to move up these rifles. And then eventually have them take that building there. As to provide something of a stopgap. And then, to assist them, I'm going to put a scimitar there, and I'm going to put a scimitar here. And as a backdrop, I'm going to put scimitar here. Whoa. Go where I put you. And I'm going to do one here. And that should provide some sort of a cross effect, crisscross fire effect. And then, once I get a few more points, I'm going to throw it down here. And I want to bring in one of these WA 64 ALRs. The WAH, the WA, reminds me of the sound that orcs make in the Warhammer series. WA! I digress. Okay, so it looks like we're attacking.
Need to make
Q5D. So their own assets are doing pretty good work there. Okay, fine. So I'm going to try and use this artillery here and see if I can knock out that CV. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to come over here and grab... Damn it, I don't... What? I need one of the better artillery vehicles in this. Yeah, for sure. I need to be able to use that Excalibur. Although, I'm surprised as all get out that my ally didn't bother to launch his artillery.
Just give us some coordinates,
Because he's
sir.
got the M109A2. Wait, don't I have M109A2s? Yeah, the British version. He has the Canic version. Now, why doesn't the British version have the Excalibur if the Canic version has the Excalibur? I'm mystified. I'm even
Need some extra
mortified.
firepower? Let's give them some iron.
Again, let's get some artillery dropped on
Hey,
that
spotted
shit
us.
right there. Yes, sir. So, I lost 2 units
Hey,
here.
spotted us.
Actually, I've lost a total of 3 because there was a unit that died here. So the Green Jackets haven't gotten a good rapport in this game, unfortunately. I'm going to try with this
Sky is
GR4
ours.
again. It better take shit out. And I'm going to
Someone
go
need
for
a
this
guardian angel?
Q5D. get it, we're gonna get it. Wow, look at all those SU-27s.
Fly zone is...
And we lose some more planes. And they only lost one. Damn. And they've got 12 of those to call in. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna manage. Okay. It's time to bring in a CB. And then we're gonna bring in drums the enemy.
Ricky, ready,
Have
sir.
to spot on things. Are they spotting?
Sneaking in.
There we go. Yeah, I can see. Okay, so my allies are not doing much with their air assets.
What do you want it to
Unfortunately.
look? Artillery adds a little class to what would otherwise be an ugly fight. I say the only good Ricky is a dead
We're
one.
gonna capture all of their stuff. Too much. But I did get my guys
Need some extra
resupplied
eyes,
with
sir?
fuel. So I'm gonna bring it back over here. Start trying to cause some damage.
Ricky, ready, sir. You won't see this one coming.
That was so easy. Alright. What the hell? Pray tell? Looks like the AI is trying to dominate the game. You can't have that, sir. You can't be having that shit at all. So I'm gonna see what I can do about stopping that. Putting a whole major button out to their BSing.
Give us the target coordinates.
We're gonna throw down some dirt on these guys again. See if we can affect some hurt on them. Now, you'll notice I haven't brought in anything.
Sir, yes, sir.
My guys are in trouble. Damn. That's a good shot. Pathetic. Hurt up. Let's see what I got for tanks. Alright, we're gonna see if we can bring up this cheap. Not good, but okay. Alright, we're doing the +1 at this point. This game has no time limit, so. And this ally here is bringing a buttload of tanks, so it should be able to handle whatever. What we do is back up this. Make short work of those tanks right there. Okay, good. Looks like by himself. I need to get him some assistance.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. There's the tank. points, but I would say
Okay,
it's
what's the
time
situation?
to get some infantry rolling over here. As that
Why do I
didn't
have the feeling that
have
you're about to put our lives at risk?
proper amount of protection around it, which we shall remedy. And we're going to bring in some rifles, because infantry armor does a good job. Infantry does better at like holding ground. Tanks are good at taking, but not really good at holding it.
Orders, sir. Break time's over, people. We're on the move again. We'll handle them.
Uh-oh. Get on my stuff. Man. It's a pretty rough day so far. I'm not liking it. Alright. So the ally is definitely
Right
that's
now.
good. What the hell is it giving me a problem? Alright, so let's see if we can
Artillery adds a
do
little class to what would otherwise be an ugly
more
fight.
splash on Seavage over there. And I'm going to try and see if we can get their air knocked out. If I can get their air knocked out, then I stand a good chance of like taking this game. Otherwise, we're going to be doing this tit and tat back and forth stuff all game. And that just it's not gonna do it.
What is happening?
Okay. Kill some shit. Again with the aircraft.
Just give us the coordinates, sir. Fire! Destroy them!
It's too bad these 1, 2, 3s just do not have the ammo. They should. Usually in their wagon train, they're bringing at least 40 rounds. But why do they only have 2 rounds is beyond me. That needs to be fixed, in my opinion. Until we get a solution on the enemy using its aircraft, we're going to be...
Loaded, sir. My signal! Unleash hell!
Because right now it's dominating the air. Sheer numbers. Let's see, I've got 1 Typhoon left. Maybe I should nitpick. There we go. Just Q5 after Q5 after Q5 after Q5 and get out. See if we can get away. Right, so again, it's taking out all my ASFs. I just cannot seem to...
Recce ready, sir.
seem to
spotted
get
us.
to do what I want. You know what I mean? Main Vern? Cannot seem to get it to play along. Yeah. It's not good. Yeah, I don't know why it diverted over here,
They spotted us.
but it really should get its act together and get to where I need it. Yo.
You klar?
That's a pretty good tank right there. Wowee. Let's see about some helicopter action. I got this heavy gun and I got that light gun, and I probably should just have this set of guns, or maybe the AS-90. Yeah, I'm gonna switch out for the AS-90 and switch this one out for actual AA, because we need more of it. I want that heavy gun. That's
Let's hope there's no enemy air defense. Check is completed, ready to go.
Shoot down. Come on, kill me some planes. Alright. Put a storm right there, because this whole thing with the enemy dominating the air is getting on my nerves. We are winning. We're at 146 points. The enemy's at 118. So far, this has turned out to be a pretty good game, and I'm enjoying myself.
All of Stalin's organs.
Ultimately, when you're playing this game, that's what's important. Having fun. We got one of the Q5Ds. Let's make sure this guy's resupplied.
What do you want it delivered?
You know what I'm going to do here? So I'm going to throw a helicopter down for this guy.
I knew you'd soon have us hard at work again.
Split that group.
What do you want it delivered? Orders call ready for your orders, sir.
Here. These Chinooks can go. I might have to put in a fob at some point, just to have 3 tiers of supply going, and yeah. One of the reasons I don't like using fobs is because when you're playing with other people, they tend to like steal from you. Like if there's an honor code or honor system where at least there should be in this game, but you get all kinds in this game. All kinds. To be honest with you. Anyway,
Follow me or get out of my
I
way.
just got in the habit of not bringing fobs, and actually, with the situation in this game, with this mod, it actually works out better because the supply is more extended.
Orders call ready for your orders, sir.
Alright, let's get these guys supplied.
Roger out.
These guys down.
some extra eyes, sir?
Sure, these guys are doing their job. So I don't see them.
Grab the binoculars, Corporal.
Let's try here. What's the range on their weapon? 350 meters. Okay.
Set up a new observation post there.
This over here as well. Hopefully they can get a one-shot on things. Just as it comes along, get a one-shot on it, get a one-shot on it, get a one-shot on it. Okay, so yes, we can use another one of these. It would be nice to have the actual Apache version in the helicopter section here, or maybe the Lynx 3. But these two are pretty ineffective in this setup. They're just gonna, anytime I bring them in, I'm just getting them taken out. They are getting some hits, but they're not doing quite the job that I want them to. And maybe because I should have them moving around.
Let's hope there's no enemy air defense.
Still have not been able to knock it out with their artillery.
Preparing to fire.
Still haven't been able to knock out their CV. I wonder if I should do another assault, air assault, or ground assault. There we go. We got two coming in, so I'm gonna send them over here and then march them straight in and see what we can spot. I'm gonna try to just spot rather than engage this time. There's no reason why that other attempt at their backyard should have failed. And I definitely know better.
Need some extra firepower?
Okay.
We're in a combat zone right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. Be nice to see the enemy.
We're in a combat zone right now, ready to pound them.
Because it is actually effective with those.
We're in a combat zone right now.
That's definitely what I need. And at some point, I'm going to revamp one of my Commonwealth deck. I'm going to revamp the Commonwealth deck with this sort of thing. Give it the RCHAs. Make sure it has AS90s and RCHAs, so it has the Excalibur round. Because if you can find like a tank group, the Excalibur rounds will do damage, do good damage. No shit. Station another mobile fort there. I'm using these guys kind of like mobile suit Gundam type. They're just taking position and holding ground. Not so much enemy action going on right now. At 329. And it looks like we've gotten the edge. And that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and make my guys get in there. unload them and then cause distraction and come back this way.
We're in a combat zone right now.
How are you make fools seeing my stuff?
We're in a combat zone right now. We're in a combat zone right now.
Shoot him.
We're in a combat zone right now.
Alright, never mind.
Where do you
Let's
need
see
us,
if we
son?
can kill him with that helicopter.
Let's fly.
So I've actually seen the AI use these A7 20 millimeters. Okay, there we got it. See, that was cool. That was cool. H7 took him out.
We're in a combat zone right now.
Come on, Bubby. Shoot these guys. Not good.
Ammo, fuel, spare parts,
These guys
anything you want.
researched.
On the road again.
And let me see.
Has an enemy chopper been spotted? Starting the engine.
Shooting the engine.
Go, take that.
Yeah, he's definitely throwing
You're waiting so you can.
nice.
We're in a
Okay.
combat zone right now.
Get that armory situated.
Need some extra firepower.
We still haven't been able to knock out the enemy.
We're in a combat zone right now.
No clue as to where it is. Now we're gonna go in here, and I'm gonna send this guy here.
Set up a new observation post there.
Send this guy this way, and then this way, and then maybe we can get
Grab the binoculars, Corporal.
Actually, I should take him this way. Into here.
We're in a combat zone right now.
Here. Let's see what we can get our spot on. Now we're gonna turn off the weapons. Yes, sir. That should give us what we need. And being as they don't have Foxtrot anymore, they're not being able to bring in this zone, which is good. Looks like we have definitely crimped their style. They've only got 1 point coming in right now, so we definitely have the advantage. I wonder if that's time for... Oh, these clips are so expensive. I'm gonna bring in 3 of these. Yes. I'm gonna roll straight down the middle. Easy I'm sure the Stormers are firing on assets as well, so not terribly worried about it. Looks like my Green Jackets are getting in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
I knew you'd soon have us hard at work again.
I'm gonna get those guys refueled, and then move back.
Roger that. En route. Out.
I got these trucks ready for resupply. One of these Chinooks can resupply 3 vehicles. That's always a good thing. Let's see. My LLRS is
Call us Stalin's organ.
fired.
Tchaikovsky would fit better.
Let me get another one out. So when I start spotting the enemy CVs, it's not such a big deal.
We're in a combat zone right now.
Yep. Thing is, I think I should do like 2 points of HE. But, you know, I only help out with the AI. Looks like they got Foxtrot back. So these Green Jackets should be getting some use.
You'd be blind without us.
And spotting. Hopefully we can spot.
We'll get a better look from there.
CB. Totally amazed these Pumas got all the way out in there and out, and also this couple that brought it at the other sit-in earlier. Totally amazing. Rifle's taking out some tanks. That's a hopefully without losing too much more troops. Get these javelins resupplied as well. Oh, there's the game. I got 5,000 points and 3,000 points in losses. This AI took 25, killed 25 and took 4. This one took 20, killed 27 and took 38. So, in terms of gameplay, this deck was actually better than these two. It wasn't better than me and mine, though. And in order to truly get a test on that, I'm gonna have to like let my King's Rifle Brigade actually be used by an AI and see how well it actually performs alongside me in a game. And that's how I basically judge my decks and get them ultimately to the point where they can perform excellently. You see the Javelin ATGM team here took out a bunch of tanks. These rifles took out a bunch of infantry and tanks. Challenger took out a unit of Zanshi, but ended up getting bombed into submission. These vehicles did alright. The Eurofighter 2000 got 2 Q51s. And not a whole lot of good performance overall by a bunch of units, but there's a couple in there that actually did really well. These lad streaks, star streaks, did pretty well. Got 3 SU-27s and a Q-51. And looks like that original green jacket got the HQ, ZSD-90, and Zanshi. Not a bad game. I think it could have been better. However, because I kept running out of points, it made it hard to consistently bring in units. So with that, I'm going to sign off here and get this one posted up so people can look at it. Fairly long game, and I like long games. 54 minutes, 11 seconds, not quite as long as the win from yesterday, but it took 54 minutes to defeat the enemy. And that says a lot about the AI that I've been constructing and helped construct with Spectre for the Ashen Shadows mod. Alright, so there it is, and have a good day. Bye.